Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we have a very special episode for you.
Yeah?
We are doing an interview. We're interviewing somebody very near and dear to my heart.
Who's that?
Somebody who you could say might be the most important person to me.
Is your mom going to be on the channel?
My mom? No, we're interviewing you.
Oh, we are interviewing me?
We are both interviewing you. No, I will be interviewing Ryan about his experiences at Geekway to the West, which is a convention that Ryan recently got home from.
Yes, honestly, it was a whirlwind and it was super fun. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. So we're going to kick this off by asking the question that everybody wants to know. And by everybody, I mean me. I love to know weird things that happen on the drive there or the drive back that have absolutely nothing to do with the convention.
Well, I learned a lot about Paul Simon as we listened to Nothing But Paul Simon for like hours and hours and hours and hours. We played a fun game called Guess the Decade, in which the Paul Simon song was written.
Oh my gosh, you did?
Well, I invented it, and I was like, is this from the 70s? Like, nope. 80s? Nope. Whatever.
Doug must have loved that.
Very much so. And then the other thing was, I dozed off for just a split second on the way home. I was in the back seat, and we hit a pothole, and ka-chunk, and it hit my head on the roof. I'm just waiting.
Ryan's just way too tall for everything.
Every vehicle, just too tall. Oh. So overall, it was uneventful. It was a good, smooth trip. Not too long or anything. It was good.
Yeah. Okay, so now we'll get into real convention stuff, because that's what you care about. I just want to know the stuff like that. So, it's your first day, you get to Geekway to the West. Can you tell us, what this setup is? What are the different rooms and spaces? What's going on?
There's basically just one gigantic room on the lower floor. Upstairs there's some ballrooms, and there's kind of some small rooms along the sides as well. This year they had divided up into two halves, basically. One was kind of a mask optional room, and one was a mask required room. That seemed to work out really, really well. Most people were very happy with that setup. There was basically a small little vendor area. I think there were about 12 vendors, which is a really good kind of a diverse group of vendors from kind of all different kinds of styles of games. The Miniature Market is right there in St. Louis, so they had a great variety as well. And some local ones, and some, I think Genius Games was there, and Smirk and Daggers, Demos and Games, and so lots of cool.
Weird Giraffe was there.
Yeah, Weird Giraffe. And then also on the upstairs there was some ballrooms that were kind of just open gaming. Basically the entire thing is open gaming. And the upstairs ballrooms were also used for some of the events as well throughout the day. Yeah, and then some of the smaller rooms, some smaller conference rooms were used for some of the trade tables and those kinds of things as well.
So, speaking of the different halls and the people that were there, did you meet? I might know the answer to this question. Did you meet?
This is the first time we've talked about any
very
of this.
first time. I haven't allowed Ryan to speak about it at all until we did this video. Yeah, that would never happen. Did you meet any industry people?
I did. I was very surprised and blessed to see so many cool people there. So, for instance, I knew that our friend Scott Brady, who's the designer of Hues and Cues, as well as the upcoming Boop, was there. So we had obviously the chance to hang out a whole bunch.
Boop banner. That was really if you follow Scott on Facebook, they had Nicole tagged him in a picture of the Boop banner.
Yeah, that was cool to see him with the banner and the demo of the game. And then also Pat Marino, if you've been watching our channel, I just did an interview with him as well. While we were at Geekway. He's the designer of Gem Hens, Mountains Out of Molehills. He's been involved with the Rising series from the Op, and he works at the Op now. So there's lots of different games have his signature fingerprints on them in some way, which is really nice.
If you guys haven't watched that, I would highly recommend you go and watch that. I loved it. I found it so entertaining and informative at the same time. I thought it was really great. I would definitely go and check out that interview.
And then also Daryl Andrews, who was the designer of Bosk and Sagrada, was there. I didn't get a chance to personally talk to him, but I was next to him and I was like, should I say hi? What should I do? Should I be weird? Should I butt in our conversation? And I decided not to, even though I wanted to. But I saw him demoing some games and doing some different stuff, so that was really cool. I've heard there's other ones there as well, not too many that I actually bumped into, but it was just, it was just such a chill environment to be able to meet cool people within our industry.
Yeah, that's always just really fun to geek out with people.
Right.
We can geek out at work or amongst family, but it's a different geek out when you know that you and me chose to be at this place.
Yeah, if I'm
and we
talking
can geek out together about it.
If I'm talking about work, oh, you guys, I met Daryl Andrews, and they're like, who?
Yeah.
But I'm like, Never mind.
Yeah,
But I can say to you guys and to Bethany, it's like, oh, that's awesome!
So it's always it's really fun to geek out. So, Ryan, you were telling us about all these different rooms that they had going on. Wasn't there a playtesting room?
Yes, one of the events they had was one of the upstairs ballrooms turned into kind of a playtesting demo area for one of the evenings, which was really fun. I was able to bring out a game that I've been kind of working on the side a little bit, and demo it to some people that had some great feedback. I had a great experience doing that. I learned a little bit, took some notes down, and it had great feedback as well. Just really encouraging and positive feedback. So that was wonderful.
And it's really important too, if you've ever designed a game, you can play with your group of people, but you're just typically you guys play the same type of way anyway, so they're going to see the same things that you see. So it's like just really important when you design a game to get that in front of people who aren't in your gaming group.
I love that you understand that better than a lot of game designers already. Because there's that kind of that group thing, that hive mind that happens. Yeah. So you design a game, you play it with your buddies, they all tell you it's wonderful, and then you go out and pitch it, and they're like, hey, there's a lot of holes in this game, you need to fix those holes. And they're like, what are you talking about? Everyone I know loves it.
Yes. Yes.
No, the reality.
Not like that has ever happened, ever before. We are not speaking of real experiences.
Yeah, no, seriously, this happens constantly. So there basically is kind of like, I would say 4 stages of designing, or 4 stages of playtesting. The first one is just with you within your little small gaming group, like with Bethany or my little design group. That'd be stage 1. Stage 2 would be your acquaintances, people that you know, pitch it to them, show them the game, have them play it, look for things, see what their kind of experiences they're having. The third one, which is more like what I was doing here at Geekway, was showing it to people who don't know me, don't have any expectations going into it, seeing what the game's about, learning it on the fly, and getting their feedback. The fourth one, which is the hardest one, but it's also the most important one, is I was in charge of that playtest. I showed them the game, right?
Yeah. So you can fill in gaps
unconsciously,
yeah.
Blind playtesting is the most important kind of playtesting. This is where you just literally box up your game with the instructions, mail it off to someone that you don't know with a survey attached to it, and say, learn the game. Set it up exactly how the rules tell you to set it up, play it exactly how the rules tell you to play it, and tell me what your experiences were in the survey. You get that feedback back, and it's raw, unfiltered feedback from someone that doesn't know you, doesn't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
They just want to know, was the game fun? Did they have a good time? What could have been better? What were your experiences? All those kinds of things. So I'm not there quite yet, but I'm going to do more of these level 3 stages, and obviously level 2s and 1s. Until I get to that level 4, and then we'll go from there.
I just think it's really cool that Geekway, which is mainly a gaming convention, like there's not all these events and stuff going on. It's mainly just playing games. That they still had this there as an opportunity for designers to kind of get their feet wet in that. I just think it's really neat that they had that available. So when Ryan and I go out of town anywhere, we've done this since we were dating. Like, we didn't go out of town when we were dating, did we? Oh, no, that's right. We visited your family up in Michigan. We did do that, yeah. We were
some Detroit-style pizza.
Yeah. We were engaged, and I was like, if I'm going to get these people to come to my wedding, I need to meet them. So we went up, and then they came. So it worked out. But we like to go to a pizza place that is local to the area. So, Ryan, did you visit such pizza place?
I did. And there is such a thing as called St. Louis pizza. And from everything I've heard, it's disgusting and terrible. So don't get it. But we go to a place called Dewey's, which is much more of a...
It's a cat.
Yeah.
Dewey's cat.
It is... What?
Like Dewey, like the Dewey Decimal System, and Dewey, there's a cat. There's a book. Look it up. Okay, sorry.
It's not a thing.
It is a thing. Oh my gosh, it totally is a thing.
Anyways, this is a pizza place that just makes basically kind of upper-end fancier pizza with just completely bizarre combinations. So we're talking like, the one that was the most popular amongst our table was the Porky Fig. It's kind of like Porky Pig, right? But it was like a ham pizza with like a kind of like a fig spread on it. Like, it was a crazy, bizarre combo. But everybody loved it. There was like a spicy nacho taco kind of a pizza. There was one I had was the had like basil and roasted tomatoes and fresh mozzarella, and it was like it was super good. So just these wild combinations, and that's what we like doing. Is whenever we're around a pizza place, try to have something that's not what we would normally go to.
Yeah. So that's just like what we like to do, and I like that you were able to participate that with all of our friends.
Yes.
Yay! But you didn't take any pictures and you didn't send me any of the pizzas. So
Sorry.
very disappointed about that. However, I want to know, did you meet anybody who watches our channel? Speaking of, sorry, I just asked you a question, but I'm going to talk to you guys. If you really enjoy what we put out and you would consider yourself a fan, like, is there a name? Can we have a name for people? Like, what do you think?
Like a Swiftie, like a Taylor Swift fan?
Yeah. Like,
well, our last name is Newmeyer, so I mean,
like Newmies.
The Newmies.
The Newmies. Yeah. Let us know in the comments below, like, if you are a fan of what Ryan and I do, what would you call yourself as a fan of Ryan and Bethany board game reviews? Or even if you're not a fan and you're like,
you have good ideas.
Yeah, we want to know. Let us know in the comments below.
So yes, there was an opportunity. There was there were several people actually who came up to us and said, "Hi, how's it going? Are you Ryan from Ryan Bethany Board Gamers?" I was like, "Yeah, holy smokes! I can't believe you recognize me. That's awesome! Like, I'm like a nobody, but it just was so cool and so humbling to have someone say hi to me that didn't know me personally, and I got a chance to play play a Great Western Trail with some viewers, which was really really fun, and there was. It was just really fun to meet people who watch our show.
Yeah.
Just a neat thing.
I mean, we obviously do this so that people watch our stuff, but sometimes we're so, like, in awe that people watch our stuff. Yeah, I mean, we're really passionate. We try our best. It's not because we're, like, just doing things, haphazard. We really do try to bring you excellent content. But it's always
be entertaining.
And be entertaining. So it's always nice to know that our efforts are being rewarded.
Someone's out there watching.
Yeah, like, yes, we did.
If you see us anywhere, whether it's at this grocery market, is that a thing? The grocery store, or at a convention, or at a convention or whatever, stop by and say hi. We love to meet you guys, and I'll give you a free button.
Yes, if Ryan has them on him.
Oh, I will.
Now you have to carry them at all
the grocery stores. I do.
No, at the grocery market.
The grocery market.
You have to carry it at the grocery market. You'll just have. You know what? You can just wear them.
Pieces of flair.
Yeah, you can just like take them off and have them to people. It's like, come on. Okay. Totally getting derailed. Let's get back to Geekway. So if somebody is going to Geekway, what advice would you give them? Specifically, if somebody was going to Geekway as their very first convention, what advice would you give them? And somebody who's gone to different conventions but is going to Geekway for the first time, what would you tell them?
This is a great first time kind of convention because it is very laid back. Everyone is very, very helpful. There's a great library there. So just carve out a little corner of a room and just play some games with you and your friends, or meet new people. There is these great little meeple stands that have like these towers that say like players wanted or teacher wanted, and the people at Geekway are just so cool. They will just, hey, I recognize that game. I happen to know I know the rules already. You want me to teach it to you really quick before you guys get started? And yes, please. That'd be fantastic. Or if you wanted to, the game plays best at 4, but there's only 2 of you. You put players wanted, and then people will stop by and be like, hey, you got room for a couple more people? And they'll join in with you. It's just that kind of atmosphere where people are just playing games in a really relaxed, friendly environment, which is fantastic. So yeah, if it's your first convention, just take it easy, play some games, just enjoy it. Try to win a couple things. There's some great prize opportunities and some play to wins. It's kind of their signature event is the play to wins. And if you are playing this, if you're going to Geekway as after you've already been to a convention like maybe let's say a Gen Con or Origins or something that's a little bit more hustle and bustle going on, I would say take a breath, take it easy. This is a chance for you to get back into what made you love games in the first place, just playing games. Those other bigger conventions have a lot of booths and a lot of excitement, a lot of new releases, and a lot of lights and pizzazz, right? But when it comes down to it, gaming at those bigger conventions can be a little louder, a little harder to actually get in, those kinds of things. This is your chance. This is the chance to play some of those older titles, maybe some of those titles that take a little longer, or maybe you need more people for them, or whatever the case is, you're going to be able to get those games in at Geekway, because it's just so relaxed, so chill. I think you're going to have a great time.
All right.
Sounds like a commercial. This is not a sponsor.
All right, Ryan.
Just a fan.
We have one more question for you.
Okay.
Just one. I heard a rumor about Monopoly money. Do you care to elaborate on that?
I will change the name or eliminate the name to keep the innocent, to keep the guilty parties. What do you say when it happens? Change the name to protect the innocent?
You're just not going to say who did it.
I'm not going to say who did it to protect the guilty. All right, so this is the thing that happens when you're checking out a game from a library or from the play to win section or whatever, or when you buy a game, frankly. Usually what happens is you check it open, you kind of glance at the components, trying to figure out what the components pieces are, maybe count and inventory them to make sure everything's there. One of the people that I know that goes in our group brought a whole stack of Monopoly money with them, and they would just put one bill in every game that they played, or they saw the box open. And so the next person who would check it out, they'd be going through the components, and they would find all the components that should be there, plus one Monopoly bill.
Yes.
It's just the most...
I love it.
If you guys have watched...
It's like innocent and pure fun, right? I mean,
and
that's
it's board game
exactly
themed,
what...
it's on point.
Yes.
If you ever watched New Girl, there was this character, Winston Bishop, that would either do pranks way too big or way too small. And that's what this individual did. It was like the smallest, most innocent prank ever. Like, no one was harmed in the making of this prank.
Yeah, except you sent me a picture of where one of the Monopoly monies
There was a sighting of Monopoly money in the toilet, in the urinal. So,
yes.
so hopefully some janitor got paid a bonus to clean that up. I don't know.
Monopoly bonus.
Yeah. Ooh.
Gross.
But that was it was very, very funny.
All right, well, I think that is all the questions that I can think of right now. If you guys have any questions pertaining to Ryan and his visit to Geekway, let us know in the comments below. Ryan will get back to you. I promise that Ryan will get back to you.
How dare you?
Is that fair? I don't know if that is fair. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out, and you can follow us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.